Hey there, it is Christina here, and we are going to talk today about how to lose weight in a way that you actually enjoy the process so that you're not feeling hungry and deprived and restricted the entire time. So if we haven't met yet, I'm Christina Johnson, a transformational nutrition coach, and I help women develop a clean and mindful eating lifestyle so that they can lose weight for good and have a better relationship with food. And so a lot of the women that I talked to have been on all these different diets in the past. And the problem with a lot of these diets is that you start them and you do feel hungry for a lot of the day. Or you feel miserable because you're not feeling good. You get headachy or tired. Or maybe it just feels really overwhelming to start a whole new plan or program. And so I'm curious, have you ever felt that way? Have you been on a diet or program before where you just felt hungry or miserable or deprived the whole time? Let me know in the comments if you can relate to that, because I for sure have felt that way in the past before. But the truth is that it is totally possible to lose weight in a way that you actually enjoy. I have worked with so many people who have developed a clean and mindful eating lifestyle in my Total Body Reset program, and they have told me over and over that they actually begin to enjoy cooking. They don't feel overwhelmed, that they like the food that they're eating. And so I know that that is 100% possible. And so I just wanted to give you some tips today on how you can accomplish that for yourself. And so really what it starts with is, instead of going to one of the traditional diets, counting calories, logging everything in MyFitnessPal, all of those things, instead, we just need to take a different approach. And I promise you that I've seen this approach work. So here are 3 tips that can help you lose weight in a way that feels more enjoyable and less overwhelming. So the first tip that I have for you is that it's okay to ease into it. So oftentimes I think when we decide that we're going to lose weight, we decide we're going to start this program, we're going to start on Monday, and we jump all in. I mean, how many of you have done that before? Just hit the like button. I think that's really common. We feel like we're going to start on Monday, and so on Monday we're going to cut out all the sugar and the junk food and the processed carbs, but we're also going to start drinking a lot of water. We're going to exercise every day. We're going to do all these different things all at once. And it's no wonder that that is overwhelming. I mean, I've done that before, and it is super overwhelming to try and do 100 different things at one time. And what usually ends up happening is that we're so scattered in our focus that we really can't commit to any one of those things, and we don't get great results. We feel overwhelmed, and so we just don't stick with it. And so what I recommend and what I do in my Total Body Reset program is we ease into it. So you can choose really the foundational habits, and each week just begin to layer in one habit after another, and starting with the most important ones. And what happens is that as you get one habit like really in place, then you can add in a new one without feeling overwhelmed. And so this is truly what I believe works well for a lot of people. And then in addition into that, with the idea of easing into it, even in my 21-day reset program, where we are cutting out caffeine and all the common problematic foods, and we're doing that for 21 days. But even in that program, I recommend that people the week before start tapering off things like sugar or caffeine or alcohol or processed foods. Because if you give everything up cold turkey, you probably will have a couple days where you feel tired or achy or flu-like symptoms or have headaches. And so easing into it can be a really great approach. And for what I found is that makes it more sustainable. So that's my first tip for you. Don't feel like you have to jump in and change everything on day one, but instead just follow a process to make one change at a time so that those changes stick. Because that's our goal. With anyone that I'm working with, my approach isn't like these quick fix diets to quickly lose weight, but instead my goal is to help you create these new healthy habits so that you can maintain it long term. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is, in order to not feel hungry all the time, what we need to do is to focus on adding in really good, healthy food. So I love the philosophy of crowding out. And basically what that means is we're adding in so many good, healthy foods and water that we just naturally crowd out some of the sugar and the processed foods and, all of those kinds of things. Because the truth is, if you're getting protein in at every meal, if you're getting vegetables in regularly and good fats and drinking lots of water, well, there's just not going to be enough time in your day or enough room to also eat all the other stuff that you've been eating. And so I just love that idea of crowding out by just adding in those healthy foods. But the other thing that happens is that you don't have to feel hungry all day and like you're white knuckling it until the next meal until you can eat some more calories. And I think that's a lot of times what happens to people when we're on these really calorie restrictive diets. Instead of eating really good quality food so that we feel full and satisfied, we're just trying to cut out as much food as possible. And that does help you lose weight short term, but it is not sustainable and your body will not like that strategy forever. And so we want to be getting protein in, good quality fats, vegetables, fiber. When you do that, so many people I've worked with have been shocked that they can eat a meal. Like you can eat breakfast and feel full for 3, 4, 5 hours, not even think about food until lunchtime. And then by lunchtime, you're actually feeling hungry. And so then it's time to eat. And again, you eat a balanced meal at lunch so that you're hungry for 3, 4, 5 hours and aren't thinking about food all day. And so that's really the goal when you're losing weight. You want to be eating enough and the right quality of foods and balanced meals so that you stay full for several hours, because then your blood sugar will be balanced. It will be so much easier to lose weight and you won't be tempted to snack and graze all day long. So that is my second tip, just focusing on adding in really good healthy foods, protein, fats, vegetables, fiber. Okay, number 3, my final tip for you is just like a mindset shift. And that is the idea that healthy food can taste good. So, oftentimes we think we're going to go on a diet and the healthy food will be boring and bland and you're going to miss out on all your favorite things. I mean, have you ever said this or heard anyone say, like, you're eating something healthy and you think, oh, this tastes too good to be healthy? I've had several people tell me that. And I think the truth is we think that if it's going to be healthy, it's not going to taste good, right? Like, have you ever believed that? Let me know in the comments or just hit the like button. But the truth is that healthy food can taste good when you know what to prepare and how to prepare it. And so I think the first thing to know, and you might have experienced this yourself, if you've ever stayed away from sugar or processed foods for a while, your taste buds do change. So many people notice that, like, let's say after giving up sugar for a while or soda or, cakes and sweet things, that when they go back to it weeks later, it just doesn't quite taste the same. It's not as appealing. And so that's one thing that happens is your taste buds do change and you start to enjoy the sweetness in things like fruit or in flavorings like vanilla or cinnamon. So that definitely makes it more enjoyable to eat healthy. But then the other thing is when you're cooking real foods and, there's lots of simple healthy recipes out there that when you're using the right spices, when you're using good fats and oils and other flavoring, healthy food actually tastes really good. I mean, I truly enjoy the food that I eat every day. And, my clients often find the same thing. I have so many people tell me, well, I don't like vegetables. Or recently one woman said, well, Brussels sprouts, I don't like, I'm never gonna eat them. And then we just talked about, well, how can you actually prepare them in a way you enjoy? And she tried them and she liked them. So, and I hear that kind of thing all the time. Like, people are surprised by the foods that they actually begin to enjoy. So healthy food can taste good. And so really, as you're thinking about losing weight, I mean, what we want to do is just find an approach that will feel simple and sustainable to you. Not one that you're going to have to be counting every calorie you put in your mouth for the rest of your life. Not one where you're going to rely on, packaged foods and shakes and things that, maybe don't even taste that good or just expensive to buy long term. But instead, we just need to learn how to create this healthy lifestyle that feels enjoyable and sustainable. And that is truly possible with a clean and mindful eating lifestyle. So if you are interested in learning more about this and what it would look like for you, I would love to talk to you. The first step in learning more about my Total Body Reset program is to schedule a complimentary consultation with me, where we'll just talk about like the things that you've tried before, what your goals are, so I can help you determine like what would be a good next step so that you can lose weight in a really healthy, sustainable, and enjoyable way, because I do think that is important as well. So if you'd like to do that, just reach out to me. You can comment below or send me a message if you want to set up a complimentary consultation, or just go to ChristinaJohnsonWellness.com/apply, APPLY, and you can fill out a few questions, and then it will give you a link to my calendar to schedule a time to talk. So I would love a chance to talk with you and just figure out if this type of approach with this system that I've created in my Total Body Reset program would work for you. So feel free to reach out. If you have any comments, any questions, put them in the comments below, and I will be back again next week. Bye for now.